You're listening to Write the Book Now interview and podcast show with host and creator Dr. Sharon H. Porter.
Welcome to Write the Book Now. This is Dr. Sharon, host and creator. And today we are talking with Seant'a Conyers-Woods. Seant'a is an author, publisher, inspirational, and motivational speaker. She was born and raised in a small town in Indiana called Kokomo. Her passion is to journey around the world, speaking, mentoring, motivating, and inspiring women of all ages, helping them to pursue and accomplish their goals and dreams. She received her associate in business, her Bachelor of Arts in business management, and a Master in Public Affairs from Indiana Wesleyan University of Marion, Indiana. Seant'a is the CEO and founder of Single Hearts Helping One, LLC. It is a nonprofit business designed to help single women with children. The vision for this program is not to judge single women with children, but to allow them the opportunity to get their lives together. She is the author and publisher of Being Pretty is Hard Work, Broken Psalms 51 and 17. Her book is a nonfiction book based off of a true story about her life. She began writing in 2015 after being broken and living a shameful life from all the hurt, pain, and bad life experiences. And now, my interview with author Seant'a Conyers-Woods. Welcome to another episode of Write the Book Now. I am your host, Dr. Sharon, host and creator of Write the Book Now. Today, I am joined by my guest, Ms. Seant'a Conyers. She is the author of Being Pretty is Hard Work, Broken, Psalms 51:17. Ms. Seant'a Conyers, welcome to Write the Book Now.
Hi. How's everybody doing?
Just awesome. I am so glad that you have joined us today to dive in a little bit about being pretty is hard work. So
Yes.
I am really excited about this. So when did you release this book?
I released my book in July of 2017.
Okay, wow, awesome. And so, as I'm reading, just really some hard facts, because the main character, Rebecca, really starts off as a almost somewhat broken person. She starts out as.
Yes,
and you
correct.
really go on to detail, and I love how you really take pretty versus beautiful. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to allow you just a little bit, because one thing we always do in Write the Book Now is give them a little so they can buy the book to get the rest.
Okay.
So Seant'a, tell us a little bit about the premise of this book.
Well, the purpose of this book is because it is based off, it is my story. I just use characters. And the book is about a woman who was broken. And she was broken from, many hurts and pains from her past. She grew up without a father. And so she searched for the love from men in her life because she was looking for the protection of her father. She grew up with rejection from her friends and family because she was different. She just didn't fit in no matter where she was. And so there was, she had a lot of hurts and pains from men, cheating on her, abusing her mentally, physically, dumbing herself down to fit in with other, friends and people. And when she did speak up, people would say she thought she was a know-it-all, so she just wouldn't say anything. And so I know one thing is, in today's society, we have so many women that are just like I. They were broken, and you get so wrapped up in your brokenness that you forget to love yourself.
Wow,
and so,
that's really impactful.
Yeah, you forget to love yourself. And so with all the hurts and pains that Rebecca was experiencing, because she didn't know who she was, she didn't know who God made her to be. She knew who she was based off what everybody else had told her about herself, a know-it-all, a wannabe, or, dumb or stupid, or you don't fit in, or you're not welcomed here. So she lost who she was.
Wow. I'm going to read 2 sentences from chapter 1 where it all began. The world has already set standards on a young girl who does not have a clue yet that someday she will grow up and be an attractive woman with more expectations of the world. This cute young girl will be so focused on being an attractive woman, she will not have a clue how to grow up and be beautiful instead of pretty. That is so profound. So let's talk about beautiful, because you use the acronym of believer, encouraging, anointed, understanding, trustworthy, integrity, favor, unbroken, and loving woman for beautiful. So let's talk about this for a little bit. Pretty versus beautiful. And you really explain it. You say, the pretty, that's the external. That's outside. But beautiful is inside. And I love it. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, in today's world, we have so many women, and they are so focused on the outside. We go buy, all the weave to get our hair done, and, going buy MAC makeup, and we're paying all this money to look good on the outside with, you have women trying to get bigger bottoms, and they just want to have these hourglass shapes, and just society has put a mark on women that the outside needs to be pretty. And we have beautiful women in this world, but as soon as a woman opens up her mouth, she loses the value that you see on the outside. Nothing but ugliness, nothing but attitude, or she's very negative. But true beauty comes from within. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes we need to take off all the makeup and the weave and learn to love ourselves for who we are just by looking in the mirror. And how do we do that? We need to focus more on the inside, because we need to start learning how to deal with our brokenness. Because, see, you can look at yourself, or you can talk to somebody and you can tell them everything that is right with yourself. But a lot of us do not want to admit our flaws. And one thing we need to do is become comfortable with our flaws. And as you become comfortable with your flaws, then nobody can hold them against you. And so as you become comfortable with your flaws, yes, by admitting, hey, yes, I am broken. Yes, I have hurts and pains. But I'm standing here today, and I'm ready to fix them. And as you start fixing yourself from your flaws and admitting them, you become this beautiful woman, and it's not so much worried about what you look like on the outside.
Wow, I tell you. And, you even start from the cute little girl and getting all the compliments. And you're saying that's really where it starts. You're listening to all these compliments on your behalf, and you're taking that in. You can't even get dirty because you have to stay pretty. I love that. And so, and when you say it like that, you really start thinking about our little young girls who are very pretty, and we say that. And how many of them really
don't get dirty, don't mess your hair up, don't get sand. Right.
Absolutely. And it's something I've never even thought about until I read that. So it's very real that they can't even be a child because they have to stay pretty. So I love that. Now,
so even at a young age, you're being trained to be pretty.
You're being trained.
You don't even realize it. Yes.
Absolutely. That's deep, I tell you. You use a lot of scriptures, very scripture-based. Tell us about that. Tell us about that.
Well, I use a lot of scriptures because when God started dealing with me, the scriptures that I use in the book are the scriptures that God planted in me at the time when I was was working on becoming unbroken. These are the scriptures that I would use to remind me that, when I would look in the mirror, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And when I would because fear was like one of my worst enemies. And I feared because so many people had downed me most of my life or rejected me. So when fear comes over me now, I always remind myself that God says, no, you don't fear. That's the trick of the devil. You need to be courageous and bold. So the scriptures that I put in there, are scriptures that help me make it through my brokenness. And I figured if I share them, maybe somebody else will use them as well.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to read another excerpt, and this one really touched me. It said, there are also different types of depression, and I believe I was suffering from more than one kind. That was a deep, dark time for you. Mm-hmm. I can feel it with the words. So now what I want you to do is think back and just think of that young lady who is in that same space now. What would you say to them?
Well, the first thing I would tell her to do is I know one of the things that I did. I would tell her I want her to look at herself in the mirror, and I want her to I want her to take all the makeup off, take all the weave out, and I just want her to look at herself in the mirror, just her. Because sometimes when we have makeup and stuff on and we're somebody else, we're not who we say we are. Take everything off and just look in the mirror. And just look at the mirror and start reflecting on things about yourself that you see that are good without all the makeup and everything on. And then I would tell her to write down all the emotions that are hurtful, like things that have hurt her of her past, and write them down. And then I would tell her another thing that would help me is on your mirror, you need to take one of those expo eraser markers and write on your mirror, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am courageous. I do not fear. And then I would also tell her that she would have to start spending time with God. You need to become prayerful. Ask God to remove the pain. Ask God to show you your truth. Because, see, when God starts showing you your truth of who you really are, when you ask him, it'll be like opening up a wound and pouring salt inside of it. Because it's going to be hard to deal with because, again, we can always talk about everything that is right with ourselves, but we need to become comfortable with everything that's wrong with us so that we can fix those things. So I would just tell her first to look in the mirror and become comfortable with who you are, just how you are. Because once you become comfortable with just how you are and the way you look without all the weave and the makeup and the nice clothes on and, that's when you know you really, truly love yourself. When you can really love yourself just for the plain you.
And not the representative. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to go towards the end of the book. You say, God was trying to show me some things about myself that I would not have seen if I had continued living my old life my way. I went into a do not disturb season where I did not want to be bothered with anyone. Do not disturb season. Seant'a, that's deep.
I did too. I promise you I went into a do not disturb. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So when you get in that place, and you really and I can really understand that you really just did not feel like being around, being bothered, being talked to by anyone. Mm-hmm. So what does someone do if they're in this state? How do you help yourself when you feel like this?
When I was in that state, all I literally did was I spent a lot of time with God. I would sit on my porch and just read and just pray, and I would just reflect on who I am, and I would journal, and I would write, and just all the things I don't like about myself and all the things I do like about myself and the things I want to fix and my hurts and my pains. And I just started journaling and talking and praying to God. My bathroom became my war room. Mm-hmm. I would spend a lot of time just reading and writing down scriptures that would help me make it through. And it seemed like each day God just started just literally just ripping me apart. And I get it when he means what it means when people say separation gives you elevation.
Yes.
Because he removed any and everything out of my way, friends of 20-something years, and I was around no one. He really stripped me of everything, people, places, and things, and he had to do that because, again, he had to do that because I did not know who I was. And how can he show me who I am if I keep going around the people who keep telling me who I am? So just like somebody who's a drug addict, you can't take them to rehab and get them clean and then put them back in the environment that they came out of. So during that do not disturb season, God stripped me from everybody and set me down, not only to strip me so that I would learn who I was and so that he could build me back up, but to also let me understand that it's okay to be lonely. Because most of us struggle with being lonely. We don't want to be lonely. We always want to be around people. And even when we are lonely with a group of people, well, that's why you're still lonely, because you still don't know who you are. God had to have me by myself so that he could break me down and build me back up wiser, stronger, more wisdom, discernment. I would not be who I am today if he had not broke me all the way down.
Wow. And so you write that one day you just woke up and said, I just do not want to be like this anymore. Like that, it was just like cold call. This is it.
That's it.
Wow.
I said, I can't do this. Like, I've been living like this 35 years. Like, I have got to do something different. It's not working for me. I'm not getting anywhere. I have to do something different. And so I was so determined. Even when I went to my new church, and my first lady will tell you, I would sit back there in the very back of the church, and I would just soak in the word with tears just coming down my face. But I would soak in everything she told me to do. I did. I was determined that I was going to make change in my life.
Wow. I tell you, it's really something. So what made you actually say, hey, I need to put this down. I need to publish this. I need to write the book now. What made you do that?
Well, I was at work actually talking to a lady, and you know how you work with people. And when you work with people, you guys become kind of close. You just share things because you're at work with them. And I work 10 hours a day, 4 days a week. So I don't know, we were just talking, and I would just share some of my testimonies with her, you know, of some of the 7 years I was in a domestic violence relationship and being homeless. And she says, do you know how many people you can help? I heard her, but I really wasn't taking her serious the first time she said it. But the second time me and her was talking, and I was sharing another testimony with her, and she says, it was like she had transformed into God and was like, you need to write a book. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm a single mother with 2 children. Who has time to write a book? I don't have time to write a book. How am I going to do this? And so at the time, my job was was an inspector, so I had plenty of downtime. One day I just decided to just take a pad of paper and a pencil to work, and I just started writing. And when I put that pencil to that paper, it flowed and flowed. Like, it was like I had been an author, and this was like my 10th book I had wrote. And
wow.
It did, and it flowed so good that once I got it published and they send you the proof to look at the book, I really didn't know what I had wrote until I read it.
Wow.
It was just like the Holy Spirit was guiding me all the way through, like, this is what you're going to write. You're going to put this down because this is what happened to you. But see, God prepared me for this because he knew that I was going to get some criticism about my story. So, again, he built me up so I'll be prepared.
Wow, I tell you. So, Seant'a, where can people find this book? Where can they purchase it? Where can they connect with you? I don't know if you go out and speak to groups. Just share all that information with our listeners.
Okay, I am located in Kokomo, Indiana. I do have an office at 700 East Furman Street, Kokomo, Indiana, 46901, Suite 226. My book is available on Amazon at www.amazon.com/author/Seant'a_Conyers. It's also available on my website at www.seanta'conyers.com. I do speaking engagements. It's almost, if someone contacts me and invites me to speak, I will go and travel most of the time anywhere. I actually like to travel. I have not spoken outside of Indiana yet, but I'm always open to it.
That's awesome. I tell you. And do you have a social media following?
Yes. Sorry about that. Yes. You can find me on Facebook at Seant'a, Seanta, Conyers, Conyers-Woods. Just got married last year in March.
Congratulations.
Yes. So you can find me underneath Seant'a Conyers-Woods. I also have a Twitter under Author Seant'a. I have an Instagram underneath Author Seant'a, but the Instagram name is Ms. All That. And you can find me on any of the social media sites. I do have a Being Pretty is Hard Work also Facebook page.
Awesome. I tell you, this has indeed been a pleasure to really go into a little bit more of the book and some of the background behind it. Just an impactful showing of everything that you've gone through. And so it definitely is going to help someone, because there's one thing I always say, your story is about you, but it's not for you. It's definitely for someone else.
I like that.
To help them. Absolutely, to help them through what you've already made it through. So I appreciate you for your transparency and for your honesty, because it truly will help deliver someone else.
And that's all I want to do. I said if I can just inspire one person, then I feel like I've done what God asked me to do.
Absolutely. Guys, this has been an awesome interview, and I thank my guest, Ms. Seant'a Conyers. Again, she is the author of Being Pretty is Hard Work, Broken, Psalms 51:17. My pleasure of interviewing Ms. Conyers tonight. So, guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And as always, remember, if there's a book in you, don't wait. Write the book now.
Thank you for joining another episode of Write the Book Now. If you are contemplating writing a book, don't wait. Write the book now with Dr. Sharon. Contact her at info@writethebooknow.com. Also, take a moment to follow us on social media at Write the Book Now.